The Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, celebrated the National Science Day 2024 at Vigyan Bhavan, New Delhi, in the gracious presence of Dr. Jitendra Singh, Honorable Minister of Science and Technology. Its theme is Indigenous Technology for Vikasit Bharat. Professor Abhay Karandikar, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, in his welcome address said,
"Let me first extend my warm greetings to all of you on this National Science Day, which is celebrated every year on 28th February to commemorate the discovery of Raman effect by Sir C.V. Raman. As all of you know that our country has made tremendous progress in recent years in the area of science and technology in both fundamental research as well as in applied research and technology in almost all areas, ranging from space to defense to semiconductors to telecom technology and biotechnology as well. As we have gathered today to commemorate the National Science Day, the theme of this year's National Science Day is Indigenous Technology for Vikasit Bharat. It becomes evident that our scientific pursuits hold the potential not only to shape the future of our nation, but also to mark the significant contributions to the global advancement. In today's proceedings, Honorable Minister will also launch the film on the decadal achievement of the Department of Science and Technology and a podcast series on Vigyan Ki Awaaz, showcasing the Indian scientists and their accomplishment. During the day, we will host two thematic lectures by the distinguished scientists. The lecture on telecom technology for making India a Vikasit Bharat will be delivered by Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy from IIT Madras. The other lecture will delve into the quantum technologies for the Vikasit Bharat by Professor Urvashi Sinha from the Raman Research Institute. We also have two panel discussions on effective science communication and research and innovation ecosystem for Viksit Bharat. I'm confident that the National Science Day 2024 will inspire the youth of our country to actively contribute towards the realization of our Honorable Prime Minister's vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047.
भारत अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर विश्व के अग्रणी देशों के साथ विज्ञान और प्रौद्योगिकी के क्षेत्र में द्विपक्षीय समझौते कर कार्यक्रम चला रहा है। वहीं लेगो, टीएमटी, LHC, CERN, FIR, INO, XRD2 और एक्सप्रेस जैसी विज्ञान की वैश्विक मेगा परियोजनाओं में भारत प्रमुख भागीदार के तौर पर काम कर रहा है। एशिया में सबसे बड़ा स्टेरेबल इमेजिंग टेलीस्कोप नैनीताल स्थित DST की स्वायत्त संस्था आर्यभट्ट प्रेक्षण विज्ञान शोध संस्थान और बेल्जियम के वैज्ञानिकों की टीमों के बीच वैज्ञानिक सहयोग का परिणाम है।
Dr. Rajesh S. Gokhale, Secretary, Department of Biotechnology.
I think it's a great occasion to celebrate in our country's progress. National Science Day holds a special place in our hearts as it marks the discovery of Raman effects by the great Indian physicist C.V. Raman, a breakthrough that not only brought laurels to the country, but also gave momentum in our country's perspective of how science and technology should be in future endeavors should be defined in this country. As we honor these achievements, it's imperative to reflect on how far we have come and what's the path lies ahead. This year, our focus has not been only on recognizing groundbreaking science, but also on technologies that are being developed for the Viksit Bharat perspective that will shape the resilient and self-reliance of our country. In the wake of unprecedented challenges that were posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, the importance of scientific advancements and technological innovations cannot be overstated. India emerged as the beacon of hope through its indigenously developed COVID-19 vaccine technologies. By leveraging Indian resources and expertise, Department have led the foundation of a robust vaccine development ecosystem that can address future challenges with confidence and conviction. The success of Viksit Bharat COVID vaccine technology underscores the importance of investing in indigenous research and innovation. It is a reminder that if we prioritize homegrown solutions and nurture our scientific talent, this will not only strengthen our national capabilities, but also contribute to the global scientific research and planning. Biotechnology, with its ability to harness living organisms and biological systems, holds immense promise for Viksit Bharat. With regenerative principles in focus, biotech offers unique solutions to some of the most pressing challenges of 21st century whether it's in the area of healthcare or agriculture, energy or climate change. Department of Biotechnology has constantly nurtured futuristic scientific advancement with societal impact, and I would like to talk about 2-3 of these today just to illustrate and highlight outcomes of intense scientific churned out. That includes from the newly formed Biotechnology Research Innovation Council from the Department of Biotechnology. Atmanirbharta for energy requirements is one of the pillars for Viksit Bharat. Towards this, the biofuel policy envisioning 20% blending has been launched by government, and scientists at International Center for Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology have created a recombinant fungal enzyme that can produce 2G ethanol from lignocellulose biomass, which is going to be taken up at the next level now in this next year to come. Another innovation of social impact is the development of anti-pesticide suit to protect farmers from pesticide toxicity and lethality. To mitigate health hazards problems of farming community against organophosphate-based pesticide spray, our scientists at INSTEM has developed an oxime-based fabric. Now this can be used as a face mask or a body suit, and that can neutralize impact of organophosphates. Finally, the Department of Biotechnology is also charting a biovision for the Viksit Bharat through new initiatives of biomanufacturing and biofoundry to catapult nation's trajectory into a developed economy and ensuring inclusive and sustainable growth. Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate National Science Day today, let us reaffirm our commitment to foster a culture of scientific inquiry, critical thinking, and evidence-based decision-making to create a bright future for all.
साइंस और हेरिटेज रिसर्च इनिशिएटिव श्री सेल के द्वारा डीएसटी भारतीय विरासत को प्रौद्योगिकीय हस्तक्षेपों की मदद से सुरक्षित और संरक्षित कर भारत को प्राचीन काल से ज्ञान आधारित समाज के रूप में वैश्विक मंच पर बढ़ावा देने का काम कर रही है। पिछले 10 वर्षों में भारत सरकार के विज्ञान एवं प्रौद्योगिकी विभाग ने अपने कार्यक्रमों और नीतियों के द्वारा प्राचीन भारत के मान संरक्षण से लेकर नए भारत की विकसित राष्ट्र पहचान को स्थापित करने में अभूतपूर्व योगदान दिया है।
Dr. N. Kalaiselvi, DG CSIR.
The very celebration of National Science Day itself gives us a kind of an indication and an information that we are celebrating Indian science. Therefore, this is the occasion from where we have to start thinking very strongly, very boldly, and very firmly about indigenized technologies for Viksit Bharat. And therefore, can you find any other suitable day from where you can start your efforts for indigenization? I think today is the day from where you and me should start thinking exclusively in terms of indigenized technologies, so that in the year 2047, India 2047, we will be in a position to lead the entire globe in terms of science, technology, and innovation. Friends, once upon a time, you and me, we were believing that science is only universal. But nature now made us to realize another factor, that even problems are also universal. Whatever problems, whatever challenges, whatever hurdles that human beings, we, mankind, we really come across these days, it is mostly universal. And therefore, to address this kind of issues, I think we have to first take up some kind of a technology. We can borrow the technology from anywhere and everywhere. We can adopt the technology, get out of the problem, but it doesn't get stopped over there. The moment we get the technology from somewhere, the next minute we have to start thinking that to what extent I can customize it for my country, to what extent I can excel this particular technology by means of which I as an Indian researcher can take a lead and feel and make this country to feel proud about indigenous technology in the global arena. Because the geopolitical situations clearly indicate us the need for indigenized technologies. So whatever it may be the area, whether it is a clean India or a green India or a healthy India or an India with the smart cities, whichever way you want to position India, dream about India, you want to really make India in 2047, I think this is the time that we have to strengthen our efforts towards indigenization. Our great visionary leader, Dr. V.K. Saraswat, always put a question in many of the meetings that in India we have number of solar installations. But to what extent we have the indigenization in these solar cells? or the solar installations or the solar panels. It starts from there. Friends, we have to start thinking whatever commodities we use today, whatever technologies we use today, whatever technologies without which you and I cannot think about our life in future, I think this is high time we have to start thinking, will I be able to increase the extent of indigenization? Let us start increasing the extent of indigenization. We can start from 20%, 30, 40, 50, but we are not left with a lot of time. And we can't say that I need another 2 decades, another 5 decades to make everything indigenized. Why? Because already post-independent time, we have already taken much of time to come up to this particular level. Today, Indian science and technology is getting appreciated, but it should be celebrated for its leadership position also. And therefore, it is you and me. We have to today take a pledge that from this National Science Day 2024, I will start thinking in terms of increasing the extent of indigenization in every commodity, every technology that I'm using or I'm coming across. If at all we take that as a pledge and as an oath, these are not so far off. India will be celebrated, and Indian science will be celebrated, and India's STI contributions will be celebrated in the global arena. And I look forward that particular day. And it is not a dream, it will come true if you and me, we join hands and work together. We from the Ministry of Science and Technology, all the departments, we are open and we are ready to handhold anyone and everyone who is really passionate of doing indigenized technologies. Please make use of the platform. Take this message. Let us have offline discussions and come up with a kind of a plan so that Viksit Bharat is happening with the efforts from you and me in terms of indigenous technologies.
राष्ट्रीय महत्व के मिशन की बात करें तो महत्वपूर्ण राष्ट्रीय सुपर कंप्यूटिंग मिशन के तहत अब तक देश भर में 28 प्रणालियां चालू की जा चुकी हैं। राष्ट्रीय क्वांटम मिशन के तहत 6003.65 करोड़ की लागत से क्वांटम प्रौद्योगिकी में एक नोवेल इकोसिस्टम बनाने की शुरुआत की गई है। अंतर विषयक साइबर भौतिक प्रणाली पर राष्ट्रीय मिशन के अंतर्गत आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, मशीन लर्निंग, रोबोटिक्स और साइबर सुरक्षा के क्षेत्रों में 25 टेक्नोलॉजी इनोवेशन हब स्थापित किए गए हैं। जलवायु परिवर्तन के क्षेत्र में डीएसटी एक नोडल एजेंसी के तौर पर 2 राष्ट्रीय मिशन, हिमालयी पारिस्थितिकी तंत्र को बनाए रखने के लिए राष्ट्रीय मिशन और जलवायु परिवर्तन के लिए रणनीतिक ज्ञान पर राष्ट्रीय मिशन का अनुकूलन और कार्यान्वयन कर रहा है। वहीं मिटिगेशन के लिए क्लीन एनर्जी के क्षेत्र में सौर ऊर्जा, हाइड्रोजन फ्यूल सेल, बायोफ्यूल, एनर्जी स्टोरेज समाधान, इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल जैसे वैकल्पिक ऊर्जा संसाधनों सहित विभिन्न पर्यावरण अनुकूल वाटर टेक्नोलॉजी समाधानों की दिशा में अनुसंधान और नवाचारों को प्रोत्साहित और पोषित कर भारत के जीरो कार्बन उत्सर्जन लक्ष्य को पाने की ओर बढ़ रहा है।
Professor A.K. Sood, Principal Scientific Advisor, Government of India.
So as we celebrate this very special day, namely the National Science Day, we not only honor the legacy of Sir C.V. Raman, but also reaffirm our commitment to leverage science and technology for the betterment of our country and the world. Now this year, under the theme Indigenous Technology for Viksit Bharat, we take a look at the critical role of the homegrown innovations in our journey towards self-reliance and sustainable development. Today is a good day, in my view, to take a message from the discovery of Raman effect, after which this National Science Day is celebrated. Please remember that this discovery is very deeply entrenched into basic science discovery, but it had a monumental effect in many technologies which came after that, be it in biomedical research and devices, advanced sensors, explosive detectors, semiconductor chip manufacturing, and atmospheric monitoring, and so on. So in my view, it exemplifies that the distinction between pure and applied sciences is not that clear, it is rather blurred, and we have to make sure that the indigenous technologies, which is the theme of today's day, is based on deep science, which will be the way forward to make our country a global leader. Now, indigenous technologies as we all know, they embody the knowledge, skills, and practices that have been developed over generations within specific indigenous communities. They are essential for preserving cultural identities and traditions. Keeping this theme in mind of indigenous technology, please allow me to mention experiment or an effort, namely Rural Technology Action Group, RUTAG, an initiative of our office of PSA, in alignment with the vision of Viksit Bharat. This experiment called RUTAG, it recognizes the transformative power of science and technology in the rural landscape. So the technologies which are required for this, they are identified, and many IITs worked on it for many years in the phase 1, and now the phase 2 has been launched by our office. And the idea is that we must foster innovations at the grassroots level, empowering local communities to actively participate in the nation's technological progress. In the pursuit of Viksit Bharat, RUTAG has embarked on many initiatives in various domains, be it agriculture, be it textiles, livelihood issues, post-harvest and food processing. Many technologies have come up, and 59 of these have been field tested. Our country has made significant strides in science and technology domain, and we are proud to be among the top 5 countries in scientific research publications. And what we need to do is to enhance the quality of publications along with quantity.
भविष्य की चुनौतियों को देखते हुए नवाचार को नई गति देने वाले कार्यक्रम निधि के सहयोग से भारत में इनक्यूबेटर्स का एक मजबूत नेटवर्क तैयार किया गया है, जो देश में नवाचार और उद्यमिता को सशक्त बना रहा है। भारत को वैश्विक जियोस्पेशियल भूस्थानिक क्षेत्र में अग्रणी बनाने की दृष्टि से एक राष्ट्रीय भूस्थानिक नीति 2022 शुरू की गई। इसके अंतर्गत पायलट मोड में एक भूस्थानिक नवाचार हब उत्कृष्टता केंद्र की स्थापना की जा रही है।
मेंबर नीति आयोग वीके सारस्वत।
Tremendous amount of growth has taken place, and much of it has been responsible for the economic growth of the nation. Starting from the green revolution to white revolution, which enabled that we are today having access food and dairy products, to the growth in the various areas, whether it was space or the defense or telecommunication or the computing, nuclear energy. Variety of areas we see tremendous amount of work has been done, which has brought our country into the global landscape. Now, all this is very good, but often we have said that our dependence on import has been significantly high. And that's why during the last 10 years, particularly, our Honorable Prime Minister has given the call for Atmanirbharta. And Atmanirbharta can come only if we are able to put science and technology into the real forefront through the translation. While there has been significant amount of work which has been done in the past of generating knowledge, understanding physical and chemical and biological phenomena, which the universe has given to us, but translating all that knowledge into economic growth is the most important part. Often in 2014-15, whenever we had discussions with our Honorable Prime Minister, he mentioned, friends, you have to come out of laboratory into the market. Unless you come from the laboratories into the market, the impact will not be felt. And hence, there was a major focus in the last 10 years for doing translational research. And that has led to the great innovation journey of our country today. Today, from 81 in 2014-15, we have jumped to 40. There has been tremendous amount of work which has been done basically for promoting innovation. Niti Aayog has been at the forefront by setting up the Atal Innovation Labs. More than 10,000 labs today exist in various schools and colleges. Atal Incubation Centers are there. Atal Incubation Support System has been created. And we saw some of the progress which has been made by schools in the recent exhibition which has been laid here. I find this has led to an innovation culture in the country in a big way, which is very, very visible from the fact that today we have more than lakh of startups. We have more than 107 unicorns out of that. And not only startups are there in the service sector, slowly They are entering into the space sector, the defense sector, and so on. In fact, the other day when I was giving a talk on the space, I found the space has really transformed into the private sector in a big way. There are about half a dozen startup companies which are now manufacturing satellites, manufacturing launch vehicles, manufacturing communication equipment, and preparing lots of service software. Now, this is a very good beginning because it ensures that we not only are doing service, we are also getting into the deep tech innovation.
नेशनल सेंटर फॉर जियोडेसी आईआईटी कानपुर में एक CORS स्टेशन स्थापित किया गया है, जो अब एशिया प्रशांत संदर्भ फ्रेम APREF और IGS नेटवर्क का एक भाग है। आईआईटी और NIT संस्थानों में जियोडेसी के लिए 6 क्षेत्रीय केंद्र स्थापित किए गए हैं। विज्ञान और प्रौद्योगिकी में लैंगिक असमानता को दूर करने के लिए DST ने एक महिला विशेष योजना वाइज किरण नॉलेज इन्वॉल्वमेंट इन रिसर्च एडवांसमेंट थ्रू नर्चरिंग की शुरुआत की। विज्ञान ज्योति और गति जैसी पहलों ने भी महिलाओं के लिए विज्ञान और प्रौद्योगिकी के क्षेत्र में नई राहें खोलने का काम किया है। इसके अलावा पावर प्रमोटिंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज फॉर वुमेन इन एक्सप्लोरेटरी रिसर्च योजना भी विशेष रूप से महिला वैज्ञानिकों के लिए तैयार की गई है। DST की इंस्पायर स्कीम लगातार युवाओं को विज्ञान और प्रौद्योगिकी की ओर आकर्षित करने का काम कर रही है। खासकर छात्राओं को स्टेम के क्षेत्र में आगे लाने के लिए DST का विज्ञान ज्योति कार्यक्रम छात्राओं को प्रोत्साहित करने में सफल हो रहा है। ढांचा वही मजबूत होता है जिसकी नींव गहरी हो। DST द्वारा आयोजित की जाने वाली चिल्ड्रंस साइंस कांग्रेस और इनिशिएटिव फॉर रिसर्च एंड इनोवेशन इन स्टेम आयरिस राष्ट्रीय मेला और मानक स्कूल स्तर से ही विज्ञान और प्रौद्योगिकी के प्रति रुचि जगाने का एक सफल प्रयास है। मोबाइल साइंस लैब्स और प्रदर्शनियों के द्वारा ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों के बच्चों तक पहुंच बनाई जा रही है, जहां साइंस एक्सपेरिमेंट्स की सुविधाएं नहीं हैं। DST का साइंस फॉर इक्विटी एम्पावरमेंट एंड डेवलपमेंट सीड प्रभाग राष्ट्रीय अनुसंधान और विकास प्रयोगशालाओं S&T संचालित गैर सरकारी संगठनों को विभिन्न क्षेत्रों में अवसर प्रदान कर रहा है।
Dr. Jitendra Singh, Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, remarked,
We are rated number 3, and that's a miraculous rating. We are number 3 in the startup ecosystem in the world. Now, for the first time, I think the Indian scientific achievements have started receiving global recognition and have started also creating role models for the rest of the world to follow. In science, similarly, you saw in that brief picture visuals of the space missions. I know how far it sometimes doesn't occur to our mind that we launched our first space mission a few years after Americans had already landed a human being on the surface of the moon in 1969. That was Neil Armstrong. But today, we are there at the southern pole of the moon before everybody else. And the others are then looking forward to the cues from us. Similarly, we started off in a very primitive manner as far as the biotechnology was concerned. We were late actually, even the department was set up much later. But today, it is the same department which has given the world the first DNA vaccine. And therefore, from a country which was a nation which was not known very seriously about healthcare strategies, is now being hailed as a preventive healthcare leader. Similarly, in the agriculture sector, the CSIR is there, the Aroma mission, the Purple Revolution. I think the very fact that it received a slot in the Republic Day parade at Kartavya Path is an evidence enough, and I don't have to add to that because it's now being... So we have actually from this department given this country a new option or a new avenue of agri-startups and a new genre. So a number of firsts have happened in the last few years in the space sector, in the medical and the biotechnology sector, in the agriculture sector or the CSIR. As far as biotechnology is concerned, we were just about $10 billion in 2014. In 10 years, we are 13 times higher. We are $130 billion. So these are some of the statistical evidences because all of you would agree that we have been taught not to talk without evidence and not to talk without statistics. So the statistics bear out the measure of success that has happened in the last few years. Similarly, if we are looking for clean energy, it's we who are now setting the target of net zero for 2070. It's India who's giving the targets. And it's we who are also setting the target of having, because almost it's been estimated that more than 12% of the carbon dioxide emission happens from the road transport. So we have set for ourselves the target of achieving 30% electric vehicle market by 2030. And by 2030, we have also set for ourselves the goal of having totally electrically driven two-wheelers and three-wheelers. So we have now the confidence and the capacity to lay down these ambitious goals for ourselves, about which till a few years ago we were not thought about very seriously.
Narrated by Manoj Mainkar and scripted and produced by Dileep Jha. This radio report on the National Science Day 2024 came to you from Akashvani, Delhi.